last time, but watch how clean it is compared to, that's not even done, compared to this.
Oh yeah.
It's way different. Hey guys, so today we are going to be doing the walnut blasting, the intake runners and the valves, get those all cleaned out, and then we'll be able to slap on the port injection plate and the intake manifold and get all that plumbed up. I never went over what turbo I went with, so I went with the Pulsar turbo. I went with the 3582 RS, a GTX 3582 RS. I went with that because I want a quick response. I'm not worried about top end horsepower. I'm not worried about making 1,000 horsepower. My goal with this car, like I think I said, is only like 600. I'd be happy. So that's why I went with this turbo. It's got the T51R mod, so it'll make all the cool sounds. It's the twin scroll, obviously, because the manifold's twin scroll. And yeah, so that's the turbo that I'm going with. As you can see, the turbo is on, downpipe is on, wastegate is on. I gotta do the plumbing for it, but all this side, the hot side is all completely done. Custom downpipe to a custom exhaust. I'll go over the exhaust in the next video. But after we're done with the intake, I'll be able to put pretty much everything together. I'm gonna be able to put the direct injectors on, coils, the PE coil, or the PR coils that everybody says don't work or not good. I went with those because I got a hell of a deal on them, so I'll run them. I wanted to go B58 conversion, but I didn't want to. Like I said, a lot of the parts that are going on this car are from Facebook Marketplace, and I found that on that whole kit with the PR coils, the mount on the intake side where I wanted it, with the new coil plug wires. So I went with that. I got it for 130 bucks, so not going to turn that down. So I bought that. I'll run that until it doesn't work and I'm not happy. Other than that, a lot of stuff has been done. We put in the oil cooler. I mounted the oil cooler on the kidney grill. As you can see, I cut the shroud here so that way I can slip this down in here, because you have the air ducts that go here, which I'm not too worried about the air ducts going there. So I put the kidney grill here. I fitted it to make it look good. A lot of people bring their dash 10s up through here. I don't want to do that. To me it looks ugly. I'd rather run it underneath and around the way I have. To me it looks much cleaner. This is pretty much in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bracket that goes in here. It'll weld to the top of here, and it'll just slide in here, and another one over here. I'll weld it on there, like I said. That way it doesn't go down, because it can slip down. I don't want it to slip down. That way I'll stop it from slipping down. Side to side, it really doesn't move side to side. And I don't want to like permanently put it in there. I don't want to drill anything. I'm just going to use those to hold it where it's in place. I think it'll work just fine. So that's how I did the oil cooler. If anybody wants me to make a video on precisely how I did the oil cooler, just comment below and I'll make a video on how I did it. As you can see on the oil cooler, the actual oil cooler, I welded on dash 10 bungs to it. I didn't use these guys. I welded those on because I didn't want to use this, because a lot of people say they leak, and I didn't trust it. So if anybody's looking for an oil cooler with these attached to it, I'll sell it to you really cheap. But yeah, so that's how I went with that. Welded them on so they're permanent. Looks cleaner to me, if you ask me. Anybody wants to know how I did it, or wants me to make a detailed video on how I did it and where I cut and how I cut, let me know. But everything is good to go. I have the water line down there made. I'll go over that later. Intercooler piping is already done. I think this thing will be on the road in probably, I don't know, week and a half. So yeah. So I am going with the max solenoid to control the boost. So I have that mounted here. All I gotta do is plumb it. Once I get to that, I'll do that. I gotta make a boost reference. I gotta drill and tap a boost reference on the housing here, but I'm gonna get the housing painted, probably black. So I'm gonna send the housing off. I'll probably drill and tap it first, then send it off. Yeah, this thing is almost ready to go. So yeah, guys. So let's get to blasting the Walnut, blasting the head or the intake valves. All right, so today our mission is to Walnut blast the valves on the head because the carbon buildup on the N54 is horrible. So I went and picked up a cheap hopper from Harbor Freight, and then I bought the, what you call it, this tube here from Harbor Freight, but the tube was too small to go in here, so I just wrapped a bunch of duct tape around it, as you can see, to make it tight. So now it's airtight, and screwed it down, so that's good to go. And now all we're gonna do is blast them to make them all look clean. This one right here has already been done. I still have to do the last blast. So the way I've been doing it on this one is I first blast it real quick, then I go in and scrape it, then I blast it again, then I go in with some brake cleaner and scrub it down even more, and then blast it for the last time, which I'm about to do now. So we got 6 of them to do. We're starting with the first one. I already started just to test it out. It works really good. And then we'll go through and we'll show you how to do all the rest of them. First, we're gonna put some walnut in here. Yep, I bought everything at Harbor Freight. Walnut was $27, hopper was $40, and that the air tool long nozzle thing, I bought the big thing, the one that comes with a really long one and a short one. I used the short one, that was $9. So total probably what, like, what's that, 40, 30, 70, like 80 bucks. And I'm pretty sure we won't need to use too much. Oh, I don't really care. I'm never going to use the walnuts again. Unless somebody local wants to have their done, I could do it for you. I'll have plenty of walnut shells. Clean it out a little bit. I 3D printed this adapter here. If anybody wants it after I'm done, comment and I'll send it to you. Because I won't be doing this again. Well, if I do, I'll 3D print another one. Alright. Turn on the vacuum. Watch how clean that is. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I'm not worried about a little bit of walnut left in there because that'll just get burnt up inside the chamber. You just don't want it full. And I forgot to go over how I'm doing it. I'm just turning the crank and adjust. I'll show you how I determine whether it's closed or not here in a second. But yeah, that looks really good. The next one. We're just gonna go a lot down on that valve. I'm gonna hit the valve. This one's gonna take a little bit more. Those valves are dirty on this one. Yeah, those things are crusty still, but it cleaned out all the sides though. Sides came out real good. I gotta get down in there. I made a mess, but I cleaned it out pretty good. Should probably put that fucking cap here. You see the fucking walnut starts all floating around and all of a sudden they're gone, it means you're done right there, done. Oh yeah, I cleaned it out pretty good. I'm gonna hit the valve right close to the valves though. This one's gonna take a little bit more than the other ones. What'd that take, like 20 minutes?
15, 20 minutes?
15, 20 minutes, done. All right, so we're all done. I put the port injection plate on, and I'm gonna put the manifold on now, but it came out really good. There's a little bit of walnut in there, but like I said, as long as it's just a little bit, that stuff will instantly be gone as soon as you start the car. So, like I said, that's done. It does make a mess. You're gonna get a lot of walnut over here, but I'm planning on washing this car out anyway once I'm done being able to take it out. Like I said, this car's been sitting in the driveway for 6 years. So it's pretty grimy in the engine bay, but I'll clean all that out.
It's gotten more love this month than it has the last 6 years.
Yeah, it got more love, like you said, this month than it has in a long time. But anyway, so yeah, so that's done. The next thing we're gonna do is I'll go over the exhaust. But by the time you guys see the next video, this thing's going to be close to being done. I'm not going to go over all putting, you know, the new valve cover on and doing all that, putting the injectors in, all that stuff. If you guys need help coating the injectors, just let me know, comment below. But there's so much stuff out there on how to do it. I don't want to waste your guys' time by going over something that's gone over 100 times by people that are way more knowledgeable than I am. I don't think it's going to outperform it. I really don't. But who knows? I don't know. I've never ran either one of them. So, but yeah, and then I got this. You know, I got the whole fuel injection thing to include the motive reflex, the port injection plate, 740, 720 cc injectors, all the lines, and I think I paid like for the whole thing total was like $600. So I went port injection because it was cheap. I think we're good for today. I think this video is done. Like I said, I'll go over everything I did in more detail, step by step what I did. As far as like how I relocated the overflow. You guys have already seen the downpipe video where I made the downpipe. I'll go over the boost controller. You know, just little stuff. The exhaust, how I made it, because it's a custom exhaust. I guess if you call it custom, it's just 3 inches all the way back with one resonator. That's it. And it's a single exit, but I'm going to make it look like a dual because I like the way the dual looks. So I'll it'll have the passenger side rear will have just the tip on it, and then a little bit of pipe to make it look like it's a dual, but it's actually a single exit. All right, guys, that's it. Things should be on the road in about a week and a half. And once I get to that point, then we'll do that. But the next video will probably be wiring in the motor reflex and the boost controllers. I know a lot of people have questions about how to plumb the max solenoid and how to wire the max solenoid. I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how I'm doing single bank O2. I did put in 2 O2 bungs on the bank 1 and then 2 on the bank 2, but I'm only going to use 1, but I did put 2 just in case because you never know. And I have I fabricated it myself, so I just put both of them in there. I have one that's down here which I'm going to use, and then one that's up close up here which I'm not going to use. That one's got a screw in it, and then the one down below. I'll go over all that in the next video. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like the video, it'd help us out a lot. We're trying to grow, so much appreciated if you guys could do that. See you in the next video.